welcome to the Patricia Joe Grover Show, where we turn believers into achievers. And today, my guest is Tildet Varon. And let me tell you a little bit about Tildet. She is fiercely committed to guiding leaders and human-centric organizations to achieving success, increasing their productivity, and maximizing their potential. She has spoken to a variety of audiences ranging from startups to nonprofits to Fortune 500s, helping with issues such as loss of engagement, ineffective communication, and increased stress that they're having in the environment today. As a result of working with Tildet, staff and leadership become more inspired, engaged, and empowered. Tildet has paved a multiple dimensional, highly effective path to transformation. She integrates the knowledge gained by sharing and starting running three successful companies and having a degree in pharmacy and achieving expertise in the famed DeMartini method of human behavioral work. Good morning, Tildet. So glad to have you with us.
Good morning, Patty. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, again, in this time and when we break up in this environment that we're in, it's not only affecting individuals, it's affecting businesses and the way that business is done. So
hmm
yeah, so I have some great questions I want to ask you to try to get our viewers and listeners some information to help them. So let me go. What made you become a stress master? Because I'm sure you're busy. I'm sure you're busy.
Oh, yes. This time, unfortunately, I am busy, and we've been in a stress mess before COVID-19, and you can imagine what happened with COVID-19. And I can say it now, Patty, with a smile that I was blessed with so much stress. I had no other option but become a stress master. Yes. At the beginning, though, I wasn't smiling when I was going through it. It was really challenging and difficult, and I felt so alone, and I needed some support. And then I guess I decided to take on that role and create a place where people can come to learn how to use the information and the energy their stress provides for well-being, for success. And I've been sharing it in the past 15 years.
Oh, that's fantastic. If it is. We are lessons. We learn lessons from our life, and if we learn them
hmm
and learn to move past them, if we take what we've learned from those things that we have had in our past, it can empower us to move forward, and that's what I teach with my clients too. So it is there is so much power to be gained from that, and fantastic that that's what you've done, and
Yes.
you've reined it in to be able to share it with others. Fantastic. So what is the best advice that you would like to share about transforming that stress?
The advice I would give is really understand with stress, depending on the way we've grown up, the beliefs like turning the believers to achievers is what the more believe our genetic disposition, values, and our unique relationship with our stress, the faster we can transform it. And one of the definition of stress, when I ask the definition of stress, I've asked it to thousands of people, Patty, and they all say something different because everybody experiences it differently. One says it's overwhelm, the other says anxiety, the other says tension, the other says migraines. There's so many people saying different things. And when I looked at it, and the tying factor of all the definitions were when demands exceed capacity, we experience stress. And those demands can be external, thank you. Those demands can be external or internal, and the capacity can be internal and the resources we have. Now, there are times we can do something about demands, but 2020 have shown us that some demands we cannot take away, right? But we can always do something about our capacity. And when we expand, then the gap between demands and capacity lessens. And another important thing, therefore, is recognizing that stress is not our, can be our friend telling us where we are at all times, so that it so stress as your GPS. So looking at where you are and saying, okay, this is where I am, where do I want to go, and what do I need to do? If we can that relationship, that's not the same. And operate on that so everybody can understand. So if someone is very anxious and we tell them, okay, meditate and calm down, they can't do that.
Right.
They have all that anxious energy coming, right?
Right.
Or people say, get a massage and you'll calm down. And you put them on a massage table and they're like, oh my God, this is not working for me. I need to get up. I don't know what to do. And then they start thinking there's something wrong with me, because massage works for everyone. And even this, I cannot do it. And then they start doubting themselves. But that is not the right cure at that moment for them. That energy needs to be funneled. So it might be better for them to dance, to exercise, to walk, right? To be in nature so they can be grounded. And if you take someone that is experiencing stress as depression and you tell them to dance, to exercise, they don't have that energy. Okay. So for them, it might be the right thing, might be going for massage, journaling, meditating. So, and that therefore, we need to find what works for us. But speaking to a very high achieved businesswoman couple weeks ago, and she said to me, Tildet, everybody's telling me to do self-care. I don't even know what that is. And I am asking, what is self-care? And people are telling me, do this, do that, do that. And she said, nothing is working. So we need to find what works for us. And in our work together and talking, we found out that what works for her was word puzzles.
There you go.
Doing word puzzles, right? All of a sudden she said, oh, I'm in my element. I can be creative. Something is happening. So, but before she was trying dancing, walking, Pilates, yoga, nothing was working because of we need to find what works for us.
Exactly. I hope our viewers and listeners are really digging in and letting this soak in, because thinking of this, every single one of us is different. There is no cookie cutter answer for every single one. There's an generalization. Yes, self-care, do more for yourself. Like I teach my clients, Tilda, is to in your planning and calendaring of everything to build your life, put yourself first. It's just like when you're on that airplane, what do they say? Put your own oxygen mask on first so that you can then help others. And that's the same thing, but it's what resonates with one person, like you said about trying this and this, it's not going to be the same for every single person. So fantastic. So such great tips with that.
Thank you. And I love that you tell your clients to put themselves on the schedule. It's so important. If we can't prioritize ourselves, we cannot prioritize other things either, because we become the agenda of others. Therefore, we don't feel empowered. And then we lose our belief in ourselves, and then the achieving part of it becomes harder because we don't know what is important to us, what is our values, what we stand for, and that we are important. And of course, feeling ourselves gives us the opportunity to give from a full place to others, to our work, to our families, to our community, to wherever we are engaging with at that moment. So I love that I do the same thing, and I love that you tell your clients to put them on their schedule.
Yeah, exactly. So let's think of it this way and help people wrap their heads around this. If you are you own your own company, are you going to run your business, or are you going to let that business run you? And
Mm,
really think of that. When you have a business and there's different things that need to get done, you have different people holding different positions that they're responsible for you delegating. Okay, this is your job, you do this, you do this, you do this,
mhm,
and that helps the business get to where it needs to be. Well, just like in your life, when there's stuff that needs to be done, you don't have to be the only one that does that. Many people hire housekeepers,
mhm.
or drivers, or childcare. So those are the things that they delegate out or hire out. So things like that. Just really think about taking control of and making sense of what it is that you can do yourself, that you do the best at. Stay in your lane and focus on that. And for many people, that will help take down those stresses, because what what happens is people self-sabotage. And what they're doing is they're
Yes.
putting too many things on their plate. So exactly, just like you were saying, really really break everything down. And that, I think that's what people aren't doing right now, because they feel so out of control with being under the COVID regulations. You can't do this, you can't go here, you can't have life as you've known it for so long,
Mhm,
that they
mhm.
don't have that, knowing that control. Now it's really to step back and look at, well, what do I have control of, and what can I delegate to other people that will make me be able to move further, faster, and more joyfully.
Yes, and that's so well said, Patty, because when things to me in life, this is my philosophy, what works for me, when things are horizontally coming at me, all these demands, I know it's time to go vertical, to go in and reflect. What is working? What is not working? But because we became a doing society, and we want to do, that's the only way we know to take care of things. Do, and have a to-do list. And we have got further away from our being, and really sitting and looking, who am I? What works for me? What is important to me? What are my strengths? And what's my purpose? How am I going to make a difference in the world right now?
I love it, love it, love it, love it. Again, those are all things that I work with clients, Tilda,
Mhm.
that touches my course so very deeply, because and I don't and I know it may have to do with my age, it may have to be what I have been through in life and how I've gotten to where I am today, but I choose to live my life purposefully,
Mm,
joyfully, and gratefully.
mm.
you know
Yes.
and to me, all those circles where those three circles connect in the very middle, that's bliss. And
Ah,
I love being in that space, and I would love to help as many people as possible be in that same space. and and
yes.
and just the same things, the things that you and I are talking about, are just how people get there. And so I'm so glad we're having this conversation today, and getting this message out to people so that it can affect them in a positive way.
Very important. And when you're living joyfully, purposefully, and gratefully, there is no room for stress because you're so on purpose. And when we're living in alignment with our highest purpose, then we are fulfilled. So there is no room for the other things. It is another thing, right? That's why when we're stressed, it means we're walking away from ourselves. Come back. come back. It is a voice, like that's where the stress becomes the friends whispering, hey, what are you doing? Come back. You need to change something. You're off course. Come
Right.
back to your path. And all the things that you said, Pat, is so important, like getting the help, the drivers, or the delegating the work. That's expanding your capacity. We don't have to do it all on our own.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. This
Mm,
conversation is I think our this conversation is timely. It's going to hit the world at the right time, and I hope everybody's eyes, ears and hearts are open to hearing what we're sharing.
yes, and I also want to share, like you said, because maybe of our age, we've seen so much, and as I said, I was blessed with so much stress. It wasn't always easy, but
Right.
what is easy is taking one step, one baby step, and being consistent with it, right? And I call it inch by inch. It's a cinch. Yard by
Oh,
yard, it's so hard.
there you go.
So making it easy, not looking at Joe and Anne and Mary, oh, they're doing it this way and I should be doing. No. What resonates with me? What is one easy thing I can do consistently? And that will start bringing the change. And and also at times, because we're going through such challenging times, so many changes at once, so many demands at once,
Yes.
and individually, collectively, that it is also important that we lean in, we get curious, leaning into our discomfort, leaning into our pain, leaning into our anxiety, because they're there as messengers. They're not there to hurt us. So a lot of the times when that is happening, people don't want, because the conditioning is live happily ever after, right? So they don't want to feel the negative emotions, so-called negative emotions.
Right.
I don't know if they're negative. So they're using things to numb it: alcohol, drugs, shopping, binge watching, eating, however it is,
Gambling.
right?
Right. 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 Oh, yes.
Yes.
Again, this conversation is timeless because it is something that really people need to hear and utilize in their lives.
Mm,
And looking right now, let's leave 2020 in the rearview mirror, because that has just been um, negative energy, negative energy for everyone. And let's focus on our future and say 2021, here we come. And
mhm.
this is the way to get that mindset right, get the habits, the bad habits, balance them out, create some new ones. And what I say to people too, Vidette, is that we're not in competition with anyone else. It is ourselves that we need to make happy and prove that we can do things to. And everybody has a different idea or definition of what success is to them,
Mm,
or what wealth is to them. And
mhm.
just take some time now to determine what that means to you individually, and success in what levels of your life, because we all have different sections. We have our personal, we have our professional, we our family, our relationships, all of those things. And oh, spending that time is really the best present that you can give yourself for this holiday season.
Yes,
Really.
so true. December for me is a month of reflection, really, to look and see, what did I learn? What worked? What didn't work? What are the lessons? What do I want to let go of? Who do I want to become? And so that we get ready and create that space so that we can move forward.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, fantastic. So let me ask you now, what is, now this is something more that you do. What is an internal mastery specialist?
Yes, yes, I call myself an inner mastery specialist because I think Inner mastery is a practice of alignment and balance of our thoughts, our feelings with our actions and results. So the more we know and are aware of our thoughts and our feelings, and we allow them, right? We need to allow them, not label them bad, good, this, that, but let them, observe them. The more we get to know ourselves with the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And we all have that. Nobody
Exactly.
is immune to
Exactly.
that. We all
Exactly.
have that. And once we can embrace ourselves and accept ourselves in who we are, now we are willing to show up in the world for ourselves and for others in a way that we couldn't otherwise, because we can be transparent now. We've been looking at ourselves. So, and that awareness also allows us to really regulate ourselves better, because if I'm observing my thoughts and my feelings, I can regulate them. Now my actions become more intentional and purposeful, if you will, because it's the purpose. Now the results become what I want them to be.
Oh, beautiful. That is so beautiful. I applaud you in the way that you explain that. It is so deep and but yet so simple. It really
Yes.
is, you know. Oh, fantastic. And I hope our viewers and listeners were checking that out, because that is all something we should all try to do for ourselves. You know, if we don't do
Yes.
it for ourselves, there's nobody else that can do it for us. You know, that's one of those things.
Yes. Yes,
Fantastic.
exactly. And then we become better people, and better people create better communities, better businesses, and becomes a better world.
Oh, yes. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Fantastic.
Mm,
Fantastic. So so why do we want to create human centric organizations? And
yes. Yes, so as you said in at the beginning in the introduction, I work with leaders and high achievers, and I also work with human-centric organizations. And what that is we need to start understanding the importance of human being in an organization. So to me, the employees, the culture, the values of the organizations are the heart of the organization. And the strategies and the systems are the mind of the organization. When we connect the two and have them work harmoniously together, we create a work environment where creativity, productivity, health source, and people are feeling good and being engaged, and also the bottom line is being met in a really nice place. So we need to start giving importance to that, and that's what I call human centric organizations. There's a lot of a big stress mess, all the statistics from World Health Organization, American Institute of Stress, that's coming out showing really alarming statistics for stress.
wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me,
Mm-hmm.
with that. So, what do you suppose, with more people having to work from home, do you
Mm-hmm.
think that is helping with stress levels, coming, bringing them down, or do you think that they're going up?
I feel, well, in some sense, it may be because they're spending more time at home, but in a sense, now the boundaries are so blurry between home and work life, right? So people don't know what is what. Like you can be in a meeting and your children could be screaming in the other room, and when you went to work, you didn't hear them.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. Or with me, my dogs were just barking a little bit, and I'm like, okay, but again, it is what it is. And just like, well, when you and I started today, the technical difficulties there were. Well, again, it is what it is. Only so many things are beyond. within our control. So we have to make, we have to have that mindset of we're going to make the best of this, and
Yes.
that's the way it is. And so it's having that, setting that intention for ourselves, you know.
Yes, exactly. And I think that is what is really important for me, is that wonder, that awe of life. What is going to unfold now? Instead, leaning into that allows us, I think, to shape it the way we want, because life becomes the meaning we give it. So if we give the meaning that, oh, this is so terrible, versus, wow, I am being challenged right now. We are in an adventure. Let's see where we're going now. So the language, the mindset, perspective.
Yes. Yes. I mean, this is so beautiful. It almost brings tears to my eyes when people get
Mm,
that connection and understand that,
mm,
the benefits that they can have from this is fin. It's unreal. It's an
yes.
unimaginable, the benefits that this can give and the transformation it can give someone's life.
Exactly. And it's available to all of us. No one is better or worse. We
Right.
all have this ability. And that's why having these conversations are so important, to remind everyone what they're capable of, the possibilities, the unlimited potential that we all hold within us. And if we just can just be.
Oh, oh, this is such a blessed conversation. Oh my goodness.
Mm,
Wonderful. So, let me move on to my next question for you. And this one is, what is the impact of stress in the workplace? Because we all know
yes.
what it can do for at home, but in the workplace, you know.
Yes, in the workplace, well, we have a big problem of disengagement, right? And according to Gallup, about 15% of employees are actively disengaged. That means they're showing up to work, but they're not doing anything. 50% are disengaged. They're coming, they're doing the minimum. And it is not their intention, because they're not feeling good. And 36% are actively engaged. So they're the driving force of the organization. Now, if we increase engagement 10%, we would make $2,400 per employee per year, and the revenues will go up 2.5%,
Ooh.
right? So disengagement is a byproduct of stress. If you're not feeling good, if you don't feel you're contributing, if you don't feel appreciated, if you don't feel you are needed, how are you going to show up?
That's true.
Right? So, with all the stresses that are going in the workplace, people are physically, mentally, emotionally so stressed, they can't contribute 100%, because they're in their amygdala, in their lizard brain, in their survival mode. So, to be able to engage and be creative and innovative, we need to be in the frontal lobes of our brain, where it is innovation, creativity, focus is. So if we were to work with stress and taught our employees, our workforce, our team, how to manage and master stress, now they have the tools. They will then be able to focus, to engage, and the morale of the place goes up, and the absenteeism goes down, and the engagements is increased, productivity is increased, and now we have an environment where everything can soar.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
Hmm.
Oh, so wonderful. So, what let me kind of add into that. Now I'm curious. What types of things do you recommend that maybe businesses that are having difficulty and really want to raise their morale of their employees, and we're looking at, again, we got to finish up your year. Um,
Hmm.
with our for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
in our families, but also for the businesses, and try to come in as high as they can with their numbers and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, it's not necessarily they're going to make a big jump between now and the end of the year, but to
Right.
set that intention for next year, and have their employees going into the next year with a positive mindset, and saying, hey, let's be able to have things be different. What things would you recommend?
Yeah, one of the things me and my team we do, Patty, is we have a stress mastery program where we come in and we assess, because like every individual, every organization's stress is unique to them.
Right.
So we need to know what is there that needs to be changed, what is creating that stress, and what are the warning signs of that stress. Is it physical tension? Is it anger? Is it perfectionism? Is it time urgency? Is it burnout? There's so many things we need to look and assess. So I do have a stress mastery assessment that shows exactly the what needs to change, what are the warning signs, stressors, effects, and so we measure it. Once we measure it, then there are ways that we can bring different ways of empowering the employees and the team so they understand what to do exactly. And that makes a huge difference once they're empowered and they know what to do, and then they can integrate that. And also, statistics are showing that when you invest in those evidence based strategies and stress mastery tools, for every dollar invested, you may get back $4 in your investment.
There you go. Fantastic. Fantastic. So Tilda, looking here, what do you have available for gifts for our listeners and viewers?
Yes, I would love to give the gift of I have a 7 day relaxation and stress reduction journey where you would receive daily tips on your email for 7 days, audio meditations to help you to focus, to release your stress, and strategies to do throughout the day. And I would love to gift your audience with that,
Oh,
and they
wonderful.
can yes, I will give you the link so you
Oh,
can give it to them, and they can go on this journey and understand what to do and have daily tips and meditations.
oh, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you, Tilda. That's a beautiful gift. Beautiful gift.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, for anyone who'd like to find out more about me, go to patriciajogrover.com. And I have gifts for everyone. If you text the word goal, GOAL, to 866-926-4020, you can get the 7 steps to goal achievement, to start putting your plan together to create the best life that you can have for 2021. Thank you, everybody. And so wonderful again to have you, Tildet. And until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.